Hi. The next test that we are going to be testing is the EVT3 Expressive Vocabulary Test, the third edition. The student is a male that I will be testing. His name is Jeremy. We're going to go through the training items, 7 through 90, training items 2 and 3. So, Jeremy, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you are going to respond with what you see on the screen here. So, for this first training question, what is she doing?
Singing.
Perfect. All right, we're going to do one more. Tell me another word for rock.
Boulder.
Correct. All right. Those were the 2 questions of the training series. Now we're going to scroll up here and click on ages 14 through 90. We're going to get started again. I'm going to ask you questions while looking at the picture. You are going to respond with your best answer. Tell me another word for big.
Large.
Perfect. What do you call this worker?
Judge.
Tell me a word for scared, as in the boy in the picture is scared.
Frightened.
Correct. All of these belong to this food group.
Fruit.
Tell me another word for evening.
Sunset.
What is this shape?
Rectangle.
Tell me another word for bug.
Insect.
What are these?
Binoculars.
Tell me the word that means 2 matched socks.
Pair.
What is the baby wearing around his neck?
Bib.
Tell me a word that means 12 eggs.
Dozen.
What is this?
Compass.
What are these?
Pyramids.
What is this animal?
Walrus.
What is the word for 3 sisters who are the same age?
Triplets.
What do you call a baby sheep?
Lamb.
Tell me the word for the foot of a fox or dog.
Paw.
Tell me a word that describes something as very pretty.
Beautiful.
Tell me another word for path.
Trail.
What is this?
A bow.
Tell me another word for below.
Under.
Tell me a word for talk, as in she will give a talk.
Speech.
Tell me a word that means a trip by the sea.
Cruise.
What is this bird?
Peacock.
What are the sharp things on a rose stem?
Thorn.
Give me a different form of that word.
Prickly.
Tell me a word for vanish, as in the bubbles will vanish.
Disappear.
What do you call the two external openings of the nose?
Nostrils.
Tell me a word that describes someone as missing.
Absent.
Tell me a word for this fixture.
Faucet.
What is this?
Microscope.
Tell me a word for make, as in they will make a footstool.
Construct.
Tell me another word for money.
Currency.
What is this musical instrument?
Tambourine.
Tell me another word for chart.
Graph.
Tell me another word for vision.
Eyes.
What is this swinging couch or bed called?
Hammock.
Tell me another word for inexpensive.
Cheap.
Tell me another word for two people singing together.
Duet.
What is another word for the fall season?
Autumn.
Tell me the word for horse's foot.
Hoof.
What one word describes the relationship of these two straight lines?
Parallel.
Tell me a word that means a bunch of flowers.
Bouquet.
Tell me another word for soap.
Detergent.
What is this?
Funnel.
Tell me a word for locate, as in he will locate the keys.
Find.
Tell me another word for stop.
Halt.
Tell me another word for baby.
Infant.
What is this?
Pitcher.
Frogs and toads belong to this class of animals.
Amphibian.
What is this part of the gate?
Hinge.
What is a word for drinks, as in she will serve drinks to her guests?
Beverages.
What is this bird?
Pelican.
Tell me another word for directions.
Instructions.
What is another word for teacher?
Educator.
Tell me another word for fragment.
Peace.
Tell me another word for ordinary.
Plain.
Tell me a word that describes something as very easy.
Simple.
What is she wearing around her neck?
Stethoscope.
Cats belong to this family of animals.
Feline.
A good friend will always be there. Tell me another word for always.
Forever.
Tell me a word for pull, as in she will pull the wagon.
Drag.
Tell me a word for help, as in the mother will help her son.
Assist.
Tell me a word for disregard, as in he will disregard the noise.
Forget.
Temperature is measured in what unit?
Degrees.
Tell me another word for brave.
Bold.
Tell me another word for draw.
Color.
A drum is this type of musical instrument.
Percussion.
Tell me another word for foggy.
Hazy.
Yep. Tell me another word for fake.
Disguise.
Tell me a word for careful, as in be careful with the knife.
Caution.
Give me a different form of that word.
Cautious.
Tell me another word for toxic.
Poisonous.
What does this symbol represent?
Infinity.
Tell me another word for maze.
Puzzle.
Tell me another word for doorway.
Entrance.
Tell me another word for teenager.
Youth.
Tell me another word for go or leave.
Come or go.
Tell me another word for join.
Connect. Connect.
What one word describes the relationship of these two straight lines?
Intersecting.
Can you tell me a better word?
Perpendicular.
What is the word for the junction of earth and sky?
Horizon.
Dogs belong to this family of animals.
Mammals.
What is this?
Gavel.
Tell me a word that describes something as authentic or real.
True.
Tell me another word for box.
Container.
Tell me another word for busy.
Hectic.
What is another word for fingers or toes?
Extremities.
Be more specific.
I have no idea.
Tell me another word for calm or peaceful.
Relaxing.
What is this vegetable called?
Artichoke.
Kangaroos and possums belong to this order of mammals.
No idea.
Tell me a word for a copy or model, as in the children will make a model.
Diagram.
Tell me another word for silly or foolish.
Obnoxious.
Tell me another word for question or ask.
Assist.
Tell me another word for abundant.
Plentiful.
Tell me another word for glue or paste.
Adhesive.
Tell me another word for railing or handrail.
Banister.
Tell me a word that describes something as possible, as in rain is possible today.
Projected.
Tell me another word for prohibit.
Illegal.
Tell me another word for skill.
Talent.
Can you tell me a better word?
No.
Tell me another word for ponder or think.
I don't know.
What is another word for explode?
Eruption.
Tell me the word for the hollow shaft of a feather.
Quill.
Tell me a word for walk, as in the man will walk.
Travel.
Tell me another word for forgive or excuse.
Pardon.
What is the word for the cross pieces of a ladder?
Rung.
Tell me another word for able or qualified.
Expert.
Elephants and hippos belong to this group of mammals.
I don't know.
What is the leaf on a palm or fern called?
I don't know.
That was the last question of 190 for the EVT3 scores. Thank you, Jeremy, for the completing that exam.